Light.
You need your light back?
Yeah, help me with some light.
Y'all said this is gonna work. I didn't want to do it in the dark. But anyway, for everybody that already knows, we're running a Black Friday series with the Mental Dialogue Live Experiences, which is what we call the third Friday event at Urban Grounds, the Mental Dialogue Live Experience. So currently we're running in conjunction with Rick Mathis, his upcoming documentary called Black Friday, coming out Friday the 13th, November 13th. I do encourage all the Mental Dialogue members to go out to the Impact Center. That information will be up on the meetup as well. But I wanted to make a quick point in relations to Rick Mathis's documentary and why we in a sense teamed up with him. Economic empowerment is something that is a buzzword in our community, something that African Americans we know we should focus on, but the reality is in the last 40 years, the reality is we have not. We do all type of discussions. For those that are just showing up, we're going to do a great discussion tonight. But like I said, I wanted to talk about why we teamed up with Rick Mathis and the Black Friday documentary. So basically, he has a challenge that you'll see in the documentary. We talked about it at the last event, a challenge where he calls it the Black Friday Challenge, which is basically going to black-owned businesses, seeking them out, and if you get good service, whether it's retail or a restaurant, whatever the case, shoot a video and basically tell how the business was, and also challenge your friends on that video, similar to the ice bucket challenge. It's going to be the Black Friday challenge. So I have actual flyers for anybody that may be willing to take a challenge. But basically, when you're seeking out black businesses, you will shoot videos saying how that business is. So I wanted to go just a little further with that and explain why we should spend black. Like that terminology, some people feel okay with it. Some people are always worried when you're saying buy black or you're saying it exclusively. Well, some people do advocate that. I will say from my standpoint, my name's Montoya Smith, aka Black Socrates. I forgot to mention that on the video. But anyway, some people advocate buying black only. I will say from my standpoint, just a philosophy on it, it makes no sense to be exclusive in a global world. I think if you look at history, you die in exclusive anytime you're exclusive. If you look at the history, people prosper when they interact with others. So when it comes to buying black, I don't mean that in an exclusive standpoint, but it is something that as a community we have to make a conscious effort to do, whereas other cultures actually spend with their own subconsciously. Well, unfortunately, when you think about what happened with immigration, basically at one point we lost 120 million acres of land coming out of immigration. Like, look, pretty much when we were allowed to go shop outside of our own communities, we took it as a privilege and not just a right. And because we took it as a privilege, we ran out of our communities and no longer supported, which I've heard of, the Tulsa, Oklahoma's, Black Wall Street, the Rosewoods of the world. So we had all these communities and we actually own about the same amount of wealth that we actually own now. So that's how we know that any economic focus we've taken hasn't really either been that serious. So the reason that I encourage that you buy black or spend black and that it becomes a conscious decision is because it's going to be a process to reverse what we did upon integration when we ran out of our communities. The process to reverse it literally starts with us literally just making a conscious decision so that the next generation seeing us make the conscious decision can actually, and this is how it will trickle down. They will actually say, okay, well, if I can feel a need in our own community, then it will be supported, because now we have all the arguments about whether we support our own when we are in business. And here's another reality: no matter what city you're in, we're fortunate enough to be in Atlanta. So yes, there are black businesses next to us or down the street to a certain extent. But the reality is, even in Atlanta, you can still go out in your neighborhood and not necessarily know where the black-owned businesses are. So if you're outside of Atlanta, that scarcity is even more prevalent. So what happens is, even those that want to try to do it, it's not always easy. But it is a sacrifice that if you can find a place or seek out a place, you will find that there are actually more than you believe. And so, as I said, for our generation, if we start the process of seeking it, then the next generation will say, okay, I can provide different needs, different industries that maybe we haven't stepped into, if they know that we are seeking products. Like, there's plenty of things in your home, like now with the advent of online, you can get a lot of things that you're conveniently buying at the store that you can actually get them sent to your home even more conveniently than having to go to the store by black-owned businesses that are doing great business. Seek them out. and it will be the restoration of the process to the next generation will actually go into business. Ownership is what we need, and like I said, we can't do it right now, but if we start the process in this generation, then we'll make it so for the next generation. Thank you. It's been a dialogue. Black Socrates, all I ask is that you think good on the video.